build a wall. I'm gonna build it high enough. I'm gonna build a roof to stand any stone. I'm gonna build a door so friends can come see us. I'm gonna build a fire to keep us all warm. And we can sit by the stove in the cold, cold winter, drinking hot black coffee all night long. Little by little, with our hearts and our hammers, gonna build a love so strong. I'm gonna build a window to let the morning light in. I'm gonna build a pole complete with the swing. I'm gonna dig a well to water the garden and offer the strangers all they can drink. And we can sit on the porch on the first warm evening, sipping cool well water all night long. Little by little, with our hearts and our hammers, gonna build a love so strong. Gonna build a road way out into the country where no one ever goes except for the wind. Gonna take you there and listen to the thunder. When the storm's over, watch the day end. And we can sit by the road on the last night of summer, listen to the crickets all night long. Little by little, with our hearts and our hammers, gonna build a love so strong. I'm gonna build a wall. I'm gonna build it high enough. I'm gonna build a roof to stand any stone. Gonna build a door so friends can come see us, to stand any stone. Gonna build a door so friends can come see us. Gonna build a fire to keep us all warm. And we can sit by the stove in the cold, cold winter, drinking hot black coffee all night long. Little by little, with our hearts and our hammers, gonna build a love so strong. I'm gonna build a window to let the morning light in. I'm gonna build a pole complete with the swing. I'm gonna dig a well to water the garden and offer the strangers all they can drink. And we can sit on the porch on the first warm evening, sipping cool well water all night long. Little by little, with our hearts and our hammers, gonna build a love so strong. Gonna build a road way out into the country where no one ever goes except for the wind. Gonna take you there and listen to the thunder. When the storm's over, watch the day end. And we can sit by the road on the last night of summer, listen to the crickets all night long. Little by little, with our hearts and our hammers, gonna build a love so strong. I'm gonna build a wall. I'm gonna build it high enough. I'm gonna build a roof to stand any stone. Gonna build a door so friends can come see us. Gonna build a fire to keep us all warm. I'm gonna build a fire to keep us all warm. I'm gonna build it high enough. I'm gonna build a roof to stand any stone. I'm gonna build a door so friends can come see us. I'm gonna build a fire to keep us all warm. And we can sit by the stove in the cold, cold winter, coffee all night long. Little by little, with our hearts and our hammers, gonna build a love so strong. I'm gonna build a window to let the morning light in. I'm gonna build a pole complete with the swing. I'm gonna dig a well to water the garden and offer to strangers all they can drink. And we can sit on the porch on the first warm evening, sipping cool well water all night long. Little by little, with our hearts and our hammers, gonna build a love so strong. Gonna build a road way out into the country where no one ever goes except for the wind. Gonna take you there and listen to the thunder. When the storm's over, watch the day end. And we can sit by the road on the last night of summer, listen to the crickets all night long. Little by little, with our hearts and our hammers, gonna build a love so strong. I'm gonna build a wall, I'm gonna build it high enough. I'm gonna build a roof to stand any storm. I'm gonna build a door so friends can come see us. I'm gonna build a fire to keep us all warm. I'm gonna build a fire to keep us all warm. I'm gonna build a door so friends can come see us. I'm gonna build a fire to keep us all warm. And we can sit by the stove in the cold, cold winter, drinking hot black coffee all night long. Little by little, with our hearts and our hammers, gonna build a love so strong. I'm gonna build a window to let the morning light in. I'm gonna build a pole complete with the swing. I'm gonna dig a well to water the garden and offer to strangers all they can drink. And we can sit on the porch on the first warm evening, sipping cool well water all night long. Little by little, with our hearts and our hammers, gonna build a love so strong. Gonna build a road way out into the country where no one ever goes except for the wind. Gonna take you there and listen to the thunder. When the storm's over, watch the day end. Offer to strangers all they can drink. And we can sit on the porch on the first warm evening, sipping cool well water all night long. Little by little, with our hearts and our hammers, gonna build a love so strong. Gonna build a road way out into the country where no one ever goes except for the wind. Gonna take you there and listen to the thunder. When the storm's over, watch the day end. And we can sit by the road on the last night of summer, listen to the crickets all night long. Little by little, with our hearts and our hammers, gonna build a love so strong. I'm gonna build a wall, I'm gonna build it high enough. I'm gonna build a roof to stand any storm. I'm gonna build a door so friends can come see us. I'm gonna build a fire to keep us all warm. I'm gonna build a fire to keep us all warm.
Lakeland Bank has long been a supporter of Morris Habitat for Humanity because the bank truly believes in the organization's mission to help families achieve the stability and financial security that comes with homeownership. But Morris Habitat does so much more than just build and rehabilitate homes. It builds hope for homeowner families, which endures for generations. And it positively impacts the lives of so many others as well, including the volunteers and donors that come together, regardless of their backgrounds, to help families become or remain a part of their community. Morris Habitat for Humanity has done so much for so many, and it has the potential to continue to do amazing things for many years to come. Lakeland Bank pledges to continue to provide both its financial and technical support to Morris Habitat, and we offer the organization our best wishes for great success in the development of the Bennett Avenue project, as well as in all of its current and future endeavors.
I'm gonna build a wall. I'm gonna build it high enough. I'm gonna build a roof to stand any stone. I'm gonna build a door so friends can come see us. I'm gonna build a fire to keep us all warm. And we can sit by the stove in the cold, cold winter, drinking hot black coffee all night long. Little by little, with our hearts and our hammers, gonna build a love so strong. I'm gonna build a window to let the morning light in. I'm gonna build a pole laid with the swing. I'm gonna dig a well to water the garden and offer to strangers all they can drink. And we can sit on the porch on the first warm evening, sipping cool well water all night long. Little by little, with our hearts and our hammers, gonna build a love so strong. I'm gonna build a road way out into the country to stand any stone. I'm gonna build a door so friends can come see us. I'm gonna build a fire to keep us all warm. And we can sit by the stove in the cold, cold winter, drinking hot black coffee all night long. Little by little, with our hearts and our hammers, gonna build a love so strong. I'm gonna build a window to let the morning light in. I'm gonna build a pole laid with the swing. I'm gonna dig a well to water the garden and offer to strangers all they can drink. And we can sit on the porch on the first warm evening, sipping cool well water all night long. Little by little, with our hearts and our hammers, gonna build a love so strong. I'm gonna build a road way out into the country where no one ever goes except for the wind. I'm gonna take you there and listen to the thunder. When the storm's over, watch the day end. And we can sit by the road on the last night of summer, listen to the crickets all night long. Little by little, with our hearts and our hammers, gonna build a love so strong. I'm gonna build a wall. I'm gonna build it high enough. I'm gonna build a roof to stand any stone. Gonna build a door so friends can come see us. Gonna build a fire to keep us all warm. I'm gonna build a fire to keep us all warm.
This is New York's #1 news, Channel 7 Eyewitness News. New at 6 o'clock, talk about an extreme makeover. Habitat for Humanity, about to build 3 homes in New Jersey in just 10 days.
Yeah, it is a project that would normally take nearly 2 years. Scores of volunteers working with future homeowners, including an Army vet who fought in Afghanistan and 2 single moms.
All this started this morning in the Morris County town of Mine Hill. Here's New Jersey reporter Tony Yates.
It's very humbling to see the community come together like this to just have an old-fashioned barn raising.
Will you grab this in?
3 homes raised in 10 days, all for grateful families like Tiffany and John.
It's just so amazing. Now we can finally envision a backyard for Riley to play in.
Like Alva, her daughter, and son Julian.
I can tell you, I can't take away my smile today, how blessed I am.
More than 80 volunteers are committed to getting this done through Morris Habitat for Humanity.
I'll measure them up from the other corner.
Permanent homes for these families.
We have studies that show their kids do better in school. They graduate high school at higher rates. They have better health outcomes.
Add another ounce of pride as families help build their own homes.
I actually just got back from Home Depot a few minutes ago, so yeah.
What's it like doing this, Julian?
Oh, it's a blessing, and I've learned so much as far as, hands-on, how the behind the scenes of what a home looks like, because everyone just sees the finished product, right? But this is a blessing. I feel like I've learned, very important skills, and it's also a camaraderie here with all the volunteers.
In Mine Hill at this new beginning.
Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Tony Yates, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
And hello, everyone. Welcome to Morris Habitat for Humanity's 16th annual Hearts and Hammers Gala. We are so happy you joined us. I am Tony Yates from WABC, Channel 7 Eyewitness News, and I am, of course, excited to be here. Morris Habitat makes homeownership possible for hard-working New Jersey families struggling to make ends meet. Since 1985, their construction, repair, and international programs have given a hand up to over 674 lower-income families. And with your help, an additional 400 families will be served through 2023. So tonight, we hope you'll feel informed and entertained and inspired to give generously. Now, I'd like to introduce my co-host, Blair Schleider-Wilson, the CEO of Morris Habitat. Blair, hi.
Good evening. Thank you, Tony, for helping to make our first virtual gala possible. And thank you to the 450 guests attending from tonight's celebration from home. It's so wonderful to know how much you care about your community. I'm especially honored to know that one of our founders, the Reverend Jim White, is joining us all the way from California. That's a 3-hour time difference. We're so excited to show you, Reverend White, and all of you, just how much Morris Habitat has grown in the last 36 years.
As everyone just saw in those news clips that just ran, I first met Morris Habitat over 3 years ago when I was reporting on the Blitz build in Mine Hill. That day, there were hundreds of volunteers from all over the country building 3 houses in 10 days. It was absolutely awesome that day.
It was such a great day. There's a feeling of possibility, a great feeling of energy when so many people unite for a common cause. And with your help, Tony, we're going to recreate that heartwarming feeling tonight.
So, in the next hour, we plan to bring you the best parts of the gala experience. You'll learn about Morris Habitat's exciting new project in Randolph, expansion into central New Jersey, and bold plans through 2023. You're also going to hear from the heroes who make this work possible, including tonight's honoree, Ken Sauter. Ken's achievements will be recognized by Morris Habitat's highest award, and this ceremonial resolution we have right here from New Jersey State Senator Anthony Bucco. And most important of all, you'll meet families whose lives were changed by your generosity.
And don't forget, what's a gala without prizes? The winners will be announced at the end of our program. So get comfortable and stay tuned.
But let me ask you a serious question. Part of Habitat's mission is to bring people together and to build hope and community. Just how difficult, Blair, has that been lately?
You know, this past year has been a challenge. I will tell you that. And our hearts break for all the families whose lives have been permanently changed by this pandemic. As an organization, we needed to think and act differently. And in some ways, it made us stronger and more resilient. We had to shut down our home repair program, our restore, and our volunteer program for months. So what did we do? We pivoted. We strengthened our partnerships with other nonprofits, and we found new ways to serve families in our community. We ran food drives and food drops, and our Restore donated furniture to help local families and organizations helping the homeless. And despite a 90% reduction in our volunteer program, our construction and home repair teams ended up being able to build 10 homes and repair 43 homes for local families. Yes, all hands on deck. So if there's one thing that this 2020 pandemic year has taught us, it's just how important it is to have a safe, decent, and affordable place to call home.
Absolutely. I know the families that you guys have helped appreciate your work. And of course, I've been to so many, you know I do too. I was in Succothuna last November to celebrate the home dedications for 6 of those families. It was so cold out there that we had to wear the face mask, but that was actually kind of welcome, kept you warm. And there was still such a wonderful sense of warmth and hope for the future. So all of you at home can be a part of Habitat's work to strengthen families right here in New Jersey. Donating is rewarding, and we made it really easy for you tonight. Throughout the gala, we'll be displaying our QR code like the one you see on your screens right now. All you need to do is open your phone to the camera and hover over the QR code, follow those prompts, and enter your credit card information. Or if you prefer, you can visit morrishabitat.org to make your donation. Together, we can change lives forever.
You know, tonight's gala's theme is Home is Where Hope Begins. Home and hope. That's what empowers our families to achieve the strength, stability, and self-reliance they need to build brighter tomorrows for generations to come. I am honored to share a special message about home and hope from Jonathan Reckford, the CEO of Habitat for Humanity International. Jonathan?
Thanks to all of you for joining us. We certainly appreciate your participating in one more Zoom event. I so wish we could all be back on work sites and gathering in person. Until then, we find creative ways to be about our mission because families in need of safe and decent housing can't wait for our new normal. They're counting on us today to open doors to a brighter future. They need us to pay attention to the tugs on our hearts so that soon enough we can lift our hammers. Before you hear from Blair and others, I ask you to pause and consider the importance of home. A 5th grader expressed it well in a Habitat essay contest. He wrote that home is a happy place where you can live, laugh, and learn. It's somewhere where you are loved, respected, and cared for. When you look at it from the outside, home is just a house, a building, maybe a yard. But on the inside, it's a lot more than wood and bricks. Home is also where your memories lie. Many of you have seen firsthand how a decent place to live creates stability, launching families into a promising cycle of possibilities and progress. And during this COVID-19 season, many more people have realized that a decent home is critical if we're going to stay at home to stay safe. Our homes have become our schoolrooms, our offices, our places of worship, and our centers of entertainment. And during all the unrest of the past few months, we've come to realize how critical it is to build strong communities where people respect and nurture one another. We do a lot at Habitat to help families experience all the benefits of adequate shelter. But we are also helping them create a place to build memories and a place where they can dare to dream. Perhaps most importantly, we offer families hope. When we think about hope from a purely human level, it can be reduced to something like crossing our fingers and wishing for a specific outcome. We may view it as a panic button that we can activate when needed. But the biblical concept of hope is not a feeling, nor is it temporal. It is the constant reality of God with us. It is the confident expectation in the everlasting promises of God, the unquenchable desire to experience God's kingdom. When faithful obedience is our goal, we can dare to hope and we can accomplish amazing things together. Please join me in a moment of prayer. Lord, thank you for the gift of hope and for showing us how we can train our hearts to persevere by abiding in you. Forgive us when we are tempted to give up or when we think of hope as something we possess. Rather, show us how we can bring glory to you when we live as people whose hope is in you. And all God's people said, Amen.
Wow, Jonathan Reckford just told us that home is where your memories lie. Isn't that so true? Well, tonight you have an opportunity to help Morris Habitat families build a special memories that last a lifetime. Do you remember how exciting it was to get the key to your first home or the first time you invited family to a holiday meal? With your support, Morris Habitat can bring moments of joy and excitement to more New Jersey families.
Yes, and it's not just the big moments that matter. Our homeowners spend less time working and commuting. They have time to create memories like through those little things that we all take for granted, like going outside to play catch or reading bedtime stories. A story is a couple of years ago, one of our homeowners made a list of all the things she wanted to buy when she moved into her new home. And one of those things on that list was a red tea kettle. Her dreams of raising her sons, her 4 sons in a new home, included being able to sit down at her kitchen table and pour herself a cup of tea. And believe me, I understand that, having 4 kids myself.
It's hard to imagine that, there are mothers here living in New Jersey, which is very affluent, who do not have the ability to go into their kitchens and make themselves a cup of tea. But we should know and always understand it's not as easy as it seems most of the time, at least for some of us.
That's exactly right. Building affordable housing in an expensive market is not easy. But Mars Habitat is inspired by the dreams of our homeowners. That's our fuel. And it's also the fuel of the generosity of our supporters who help build those dreams. So while we treasure all of our volunteers, I do want to honor the passion and impact of my dear friend, Don Kuhn. Don lost a courageous battle last April to cancer. And I send my love to his wife, Teeny, and her family, and I know they're watching tonight. Teeny, you and Don will always be part of our Habitat family. Tonight's program would not be complete without taking a moment to honor Don, so let's take a moment and let's watch. Don Kuhn was that rare volunteer that could do anything that we asked him to do. We referred to him as our Renaissance man. He led our board through a successful transition from a grassroots board to a strategic governance model. And for those of you in the nonprofit world, that's not for the faint of heart. He helped our organization at our retail operation called Restore. He painted and donated his paintings to our gala, and he even modeled a tool belt for our gala live auction. Don did it all. He dabbled in many aspects of our organization, and he was productive in every task he undertook. Don was involved with Mars Habitat for over 20 years. His volunteer involvement with Mars Habitat is an example of how one can use their skills and talents and develop and grow them over their career, and then help an organization realize its potential while turning life after retirement into a new adventure of learning, helping, and growing.
Wow, what a smile. Did you notice Don's smile? He sounds like a lovely man. And I can also tell Blair that it's kind of bittersweet for you to talk about him right now. I'm sure he must have known what he meant to Habitat for Humanity.
Well, I hope so, because he did mean a lot to me personally. So 4 years ago, we decided to name our highest honor after him, called the Don Kuhn Inspiration Award. Each year, this award is presented to a partner whose outstanding service lives up to the gold standard that guided every aspect of Don's life. This year, no one deserves this honor more than our former board president, Ken Sauter. During Ken's term on our board, we served 355 families, building 55 local homes. Ken's skills as a lawyer and an accountant were put to great use during this past year's expansion into Greater Plainfield and Middlesex County. It was Ken's steady and quiet leadership that kept us moving during some very uncertain times. So I was thrilled to present the 2021 Don Kuhn Inspiration Award. Oh, it's right here. The Don Kuhn to Ken earlier in our Restore. And here's what Ken had to say.
Just a couple of sort of off-the-cuff comments. We talk about building houses for families, and we're really not building houses, we're building homes. And, Blair's the one who really knows all the stats, but, the things that come to mind are that, we've got to recognize that when we serve the families, that we're doing so much more than just building a house. You're building a place of comfort and retreat and safety. And during this COVID era, I can't think of anything that would be more important to a family than having a place to gather safely. The home means so much more to the families. It means a chance at education and family stability and just the whole sense of what goes on within a household, the things that don't happen when you've got families who are living in tiny apartments, boarding house situations. So building that home is so much more to the families that Morris Habitat serves, and it's really been my honor to be able to be part of that, and I'm really just a small part of that. I mean, I want to think about what we went through this year, and Blair mentioned it a moment ago. We went through a pandemic, but you had Blair and her staff and the volunteers, and it's amazing how everybody basically pivoted. They responded, they recognized the problem, they knew what needed to be done. The work kept going. It never really stopped. The volunteers were still there. The staff was still there, working remotely. The Restore got up and running as soon as we possibly could. So it's been a somewhat remarkable part of my life to watch what Blair and everybody else was able to do. So I really just want to say thank you to everybody that's been able to make this organization continue and essentially to thrive during a really incredibly difficult, remarkably amazing, but difficult time. I can just tell you that the best part of what I do, the most enjoyable part of what I've been able to do and to witness are the dedications, because that is really what it's all about. If you do nothing much more with respect to the organization, go to a dedication. If you want to get basically amazed at what the organization does, go there, listen to the families, and you realize it's not just a house. It's a home. You'll see the families. You'll see the love that they put into the homes, the love that they're going to keep putting into those homes basically for a long, long time. And that's how they contribute towards our communities. Those kids that grow up in those homes, they've got a better shot at an education. They've got family stability. Their health is better. Blair's the one with the stats, but I can just tell you that the stats are absolutely overwhelming as to the benefits that those families have. So I just want to thank Blair, and I want to thank everybody. Just, keep it going. There's so much more work to be done. We just got to keep doing it. So thank you.
Yeah, Ken.
I know, and thank you, Ken, because luckily Ken is not going anywhere yet. He and his wife, Christy, will help kick off our largest ever project, 25 homes at 42 Bennett Avenue in Randolph. That's why we're here. Mm-hmm. We will break ground on the first phase of the 42 Bennett Avenue project this summer. And thanks to the commitment of Randolph Township, the mayor and council members, who I know of several are watching tonight, I'd like to give a big shout out to Christine Carey, Jim Lovies, and Joanne Veach. Thank you for your support. So now let's join Ken and Christy, who are the honorary co-chairs of the fundraising committee for this project. They are just around the corner from our Restore. Let's join Ken and Christy.
Hello. We'd like to welcome everyone and thank you very much for being here.
Ken, congratulations on your award.
I'm so very proud of you and all of the hard work and years of dedication that you've put toward the Morris Habitat families.
Thanks, Christy, and thanks for joining me here today.
I'm happy to be here, even if it is a little bit cold out here today. But standing outside in the middle of winter really reminds me of how wonderful it is to have a nice warm home, especially this year. Can you imagine a family enduring this last year without a safe, decent home, living in a small, cramped, one-bedroom apartment or in the basement of someone's home? How do you eat in if you don't have a functioning kitchen? How do you teach your children at home and homeschool them if you don't have a quiet place for them to learn?
2020 has shown us just how crucial affordable housing can be for families, for their health, for their well-being. Which makes it even more exciting to be here at 42 Bennett Avenue in Randolph, the site of Morris Habitat's largest project ever.
They say that home is where hope begins. And for 25 families, hope will begin here. Or maybe over there. Right now, it's just an open field, and it's hard to imagine what the final project will look like.
And that's why we invited Doug Wright, Morris Habitat's Chief Construction Officer. Doug?
Hello everyone. As you said, 42 Bennett Ave will be our largest project ever. It's a community of 25 families. The development will include 1, 2, and 3 bedroom condominiums built in 1 8-plex, 2 6-plexes, and 1 5-plex. The project includes a community room, offices for the association, a path that connects to the local shopping center, common landscaped areas, a picnic area, and even a gazebo.
And what's your timeline for all that work?
We have broken it into 3 phases. The first phase will start this summer with the 8-plex and the 5-plex along the westerly property line. The Township of Randolph donated the property along with some affordable housing trust funds to offset the cost of the site work that needs to be completed and to begin the building. The Township's dollars is enough to get started.
But not enough to finish the project.
Exactly.
And that's where we can all help. Christy and I live here in Randolph. We've lived here for a long time. We know what a great place it is to raise a family. We want our town to continue as a growing, vibrant, and welcoming community that offers all our neighbors a chance to live the American dream. We've worked with Habitat families for years, and we know how hard they work. We know the time they put into building their homes. Each family attends financial education, invests hundreds of hours of sweat equity. They're proud and responsible homeowners who will become an integral part of our community.
This reminds me of something that my mother always said, that she would have so much joy and happiness just watching our family gather in our home, laughing, talking, celebrating all of the big and little moments of life. And so you can be part of that too. In the next few weeks, we will be selling these bricks. For $125, that's $5 for each family to use toward their home, you can help build a thriving neighborhood right here in Randolph. These bricks will form the path that runs through the development. It will be the path that leads families to their home. It will connect neighbors, and it will bring them into the community and to the local bus stop.
Well, you'll be hearing more about purchasing the bricks as soon as we officially launch the campaign. In the meantime, thanks for spending time with us at 42 Bennett Avenue. On this very, very cold day, we're going to build some very warm homes.
Bye. Thank you, guys. It's going to be huge. All of these new grateful neighbors. 42 Bennett Avenue is only one of the exciting projects that Morris Habitat has planned over the next 4 years. In total, 400 families will be served through 2023, and each of those families has a unique and a very compelling story, and we're going to hear one of them right now. Here's a look back at the Rondon family in 2017. Gregorio, Glennie, and their sons, Junior and Justin, shared the stress of living in inadequate housing and the joy of becoming homeowners in progress.
It was very tight. There was a very bad environment outside the small apartment. Like people standing outside our door, like cigarette butts on the floor. You shouldn't raise a family in that area. How can you live here every day, you know? Like, just remember my parents arguing about it all the time. And then my little brother is young. He doesn't know what's good from what's bad. You know, he's innocent. It's not like he knows what to tell him, you know? He sees it and he's like, well, is it good or is it bad? I see them doing it, why aren't you doing it? I want to make a difference in this world because there are people less fortunate than me who don't believe in anything and believe that they have nothing. So I just want to help out and show them that there are greater and bigger things for them and make them feel welcomed.
There was too many times that I want to get out there because imagine
when you come back from working, and then your wife waiting and say, we cannot be here. There was people fighting outside. There were people doing bad stuff outside. Our kid looking the whatever they're not supposed to look. How long we gonna be doing this? I say.
I would hear them discussing about trying to have a better home for us.
I told him all the time, we need to move from here. I
would see them discussing, hoping for a better place that they could live in, that we could live in. My parents would always say that I would want a house with a garage, with all of us having our own room, having more room in the kitchen, being able to have more family in the house.
First, we were suffering in the small apartment, tiny apartment, like she mentioned it, that we cannot be able to invite family even for Thanksgiving. It was a small place.
I remember being 7 years old and my parents talking about Habitat for Humanity, and their goal was to hopefully Habitat for help to help us achieve our goal of the American dream to have a home one day. The day that my family found out that we qualified for a house through Habitat for Humanity, I came home from school and both my parents were sitting on the couch, and I came in and they were like, we have some great news. We qualified for a house through Habitat for Humanity, and we just were ecstatic. We were so happy, and we all came together and started hugging each other.
So I never sing in my dream. I always say I want a house, but never like this so beautiful house. And I never think in my mind I'm gonna have a house like that. It was wonderful.
When we hugged each other, it wasn't just a quick second. It was one of those hugs that you'll remember for the rest of your life. God came out there and put his hand and helped our family. Morris Habitat for Humanity gave my family an opportunity to make a change. I have the baton now, and from now on, I'm going to give it to someone else, and it's just going to be a spider web. It's just going to keep on going down, and multiple families and multiple people, persons, corporations, everyone, it's going to make a difference.
Oh, wow. This is what we're celebrating tonight, an inspiring story of one family's journey to home ownership. And while this achievement may seem like the end of the story, it is just the first chapter. We're going to be hearing from Junior a bit later during this gala, and believe me, you're not going to want to miss hearing his story. In the meantime, please remember that there are so many more families just like the Rondons who need our help. Families in search of affordable housing at a time when home has never been more important. Now we're going to hear from David Farrell, Morris Habitat's board president, about the amazing impact that your donations will have.
Good evening. My name is David Farrell, and I am president of the Morris Habitat Board of Directors. I'd like to tell you about our program's goals and accomplishments as we enter 2021. Morris Habitat for Humanity is the area's leading builder and advocate for affordable housing. We recognize that communities are only as strong as the families who live in them, and families are financially and emotionally stronger when they own safe and healthy homes. The consequences of people living in inadequate housing have never been more apparent than during this pandemic. Health costs, educational disparities, racial tensions, and even the disproportionate number of Black and brown residents suffering from COVID-19 would be lessened if everyone had a decent place to live. Thanks to you, our friends, partners, and sponsors, Morris Habitat has never been more ready to meet this challenge. Last November, we acquired the service area of our sister affiliate and expanded into central New Jersey. We now proudly serve Morris and Middlesex counties, Fanwood, Plainfield, Scotch Plains, Greenbrook, North Plainfield, and Watchung. This expansion effectively doubles our service area to 1,000 square miles in 68 municipalities, and along with it, doubles the population we serve. We have been hard at work throughout Morris County and Central Jersey. Morris Habitat closed 10 homes in 2020, including single-family homes in Perth Amboy and Avenel. In 8 months of operations, Our neighborhood revitalization and aging in place team made 43 critical repairs for lower income and senior households, 4 in partnership with the City of Plainfield. Morris Habitat has ambitious goals. We plan to have 33 homes under construction this year, including multi-unit projects in Summit, Randolph, and Perth Amboy, and single-family homes in Jefferson, Plainfield, Washington Township, and Old Bridge. Over the next 3 years, our goal is to help 240 families through home ownership, home preservation, and international building programs. But not without your help. On behalf of the staff and the board of directors, I would like to sincerely thank everyone participating in tonight's gala, particularly our premier sponsors, GAF, Bear, Valley Bank, Lakeland Bank, and Schindler Elevator. Your generosity made this evening possible and allows Morris Habitat to continue building hope for a better future. I have volunteered at over a dozen construction sites in the recent past. Nothing is more gratifying to me than working alongside homeowners trying to build a better life for their families. GAF, one of our premier sponsors this evening, must feel the same way. Let's listen as they describe their Roofs for Heroes program that Morris Habitat helped launch.
My name is Christina. I am a registered nurse. I have 2 little boys, Francesco and Santino. I've been in my home 3 years this year. The roof needed to be redone, and it was actually a project my husband and I were going to get ready to do this summer. And then with COVID and, his passing, so that kind of halted a lot of things.
The last thing a frontline health worker or first responder needs to worry about is a leaky roof. And that's why we at GAF created the Roofs for Heroes initiative to help protect those who are protecting us.
We were interested in engaging in the Roofs for Hero program because we feel that it's really important to give back to the community and serve our community.
Blue Nail Roofing and Siding, they're coming in, bringing their skills. We're providing the roofing material to help replace this roof for Christine and her boys.
I'm forever thankful for the Roofs for Heroes program.
I knew that Morris Habitat would be a good fit with our company culture. We're in the construction business. We have a lot of people like to build things, and we have a lot of big-hearted folks in the elevator business that want to be involved in the community. So I knew this would be the perfect fit. To have an opportunity to thrive, you need to start with, having a steady, dependable, reliable home setting. And so having gone through the experience and seeing how much it impacts the families to move from an environment where there's a lot of unknowns and instability to an environment where it's more of a controlled environment and they have a good place to keep the family unit. You can see a huge difference. I was about as close to homeless as you can be at the age of 13. My mom and I lived in a situation where for 2 years we couldn't pay the bills. We weren't able to stay in our house. We had to move in with my aunt, live in the basement, and then my mom landed a job and we got an apartment. Just having that space and knowing that the bills would be paid and knowing that you came home every night and you were safe made a huge difference. It creates a platform for a lot of goodness. A lot of things can come from that are good. Whereas opposed to that, not having that stability can lead to the breakdown of things in our society. So I think it is that essential building block. It's part of that formula to give people a good platform to have a decent chance in life. If the family unit's broken, and that can happen for a multitude of reasons, and one of those can be not having a place to live, right? But if the family unit breaks down, it's just a matter of time before the community breaks down. It's more than home, it's where my heart is.
Look at that. So many backstories. You just don't know what somebody may have gone through in their youth. So thank you, Greg Ergenbright, for that heartfelt reminder of the importance of a steady, dependable home. Not only is Schindler Elevator a gold sponsor tonight, they're generously matching their employees' gala donations. So come on, employees. They are really big-hearted folks in the elevator business. So we've come to a very exciting moment right now. The Hearts and Hammers Gala has reached the halfway point. Contributions have been coming in, and we've been busy tallying them behind the scenes. We told you our goal tonight is to raise $300,000, so we are going to check right now to see where we are. Are you ready? Here you go. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. We are now at $275,000. Wow, there it is. Woo! Thank you. Thanks to you and our awesome sponsors. We're well on our way toward reaching our goal, and there's still time to give. Oh, and look at that. Check it out. Columbia Bank. Columbia Bank, we love you. Just donated $12,500. So please, let's keep this going. Please know that every dollar matters to families right here in our neighborhoods. If you've already given, thank you so much. If not, here's how. You can scan the QR code or visit morrishabitat.org and follow the prompts to donate.
And remember, your generosity tonight will help more families like the Rondons. A few minutes ago, we shared the video of the Rondons describing their home life before they partnered with Mars Habitat. We were pleased and honored when their son, Junior, agreed to be the keynote speaker at our 2017 Hearts and Hammers Gala. He was about to graduate high school with a full academic scholarship to Fairleigh Dickinson University. Ricky Jones, the regional president of Travelers Insurance, was in the audience that night. He was as impressed with Junior as we were, and he recommended Junior to his company's summer internship program. After 3 summers as an intern, I'm thrilled to tell you that Junior has been offered a job at Travelers upon graduation. That's fantastic.
Excellent.
I had a chance to check in with Junior and Ricky Jones on a recent Zoom call. Let's watch. Oh my goodness. That 4 years ago, and it still moves me to tears. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Junior Rondon, who is now a senior in college at Fairleigh Dickinson College, and Ricky Jones, who's the regional president of Travelers Insurance. And Ricky, what brought you to Mars Habitat?
Blair, it really comes back to our commitment to helping take care of our customers, our community, and helping one another as well. Travelers has had a long-standing partnership with Habitat for Humanity, and that's inclusive of the Morristown location or the Morris community location, as well. And our focus has been to help families across the country secure affordable housing. But we don't just provide funding for the Habitat builds. Our employees in a typical year dedicate thousands of hours volunteering on site to help families bring these homes to life.
That's just so wonderful. So how did you meet Junior Rondon?
Oh,
And the Rondon family, right? You met them as well?
I met them. I'm going to start off with his mother and father because that's who I met first. And I actually met his mother and father at the home that was being built because they were putting in their hours for home ownership as well. And I'll never forget seeing both of them with the big smiles, on their face, and just being there with the Travelers volunteers was very special. So my first interaction was really with their home ownership building process and being on that property several times and engaging with them. And then how I met Junior was through the gala, through the gala, and his inspiring speech in reference to moving from the community that he was in and how uplifting the new home ownership for his family was going to be as well. And I've actually had the opportunity to see his mother and father in other builds, especially out on MLK Avenue. And I've seen them at the Restore and other places. But that initial interaction was at their current home as it was being built. I'll call it from ground up. Then at the gala, and then subsequent bills continued to contribute to Mars Habitat.
So what did you see in Junior in particular from his gala speech?
His speech was moving. To this day, it seems like it was yesterday, even though it was 4 years ago. Some of the things that I saw was really how he was able to captivate the audience by his storytelling. And I thought it was very remarkable. But I saw in a young man that had poise. He was humble. He had drive. He had ambitions to make a difference, not only for himself, but for others. He spoke a lot about his brother Justin in reference to this change and what it was going to mean to him, this change as to what it was going to mean to his family, this change and what it was going to mean to Junior himself. And then the biggest thing that I saw in him, he was a person who was willing to embrace change. He wasn't afraid of the move, the new responsibilities, paying it forward. He embraced it. And that resonated with me that night with Junior.
That's just great. That's just terrific. And hey, Junior, in 2017, you were a senior in high school. You just saw this video. Not many of us have that opportunity to look back at ourselves when we were in high school. You think you were so worldly, right? And then you look back, you go, ooh, right? But here we're looking at you as a young man on the verge of a wonderful future ahead of you. Tell us where you are now, just a little bit. What are you doing?
Right now, I'm in my last semester at college, majoring in accounting. And then recently, I've been in the process of becoming a volunteer firefighter for the Morris Township. I've been also working as a mechanic lately, and just helping my family and trying to keep everybody safe during this pandemic.
Yeah, this has got to be a little bit interesting. Were you living at home during college or before the pandemic? And then
Yes.
Where are you now? You're still living at home?
Yeah, so before the pandemic, I was living on campus until my junior year, until February, March. And then I came back home and I have been taking classes at home since then.
So what are your biggest changes, or what are some of the biggest changes that you've seen home ownership has done for you and your family?
The biggest changes that I would like to say are that now for many holidays, we've been having the whole family come over to our house and enjoying more time with the family. Bigger opportunities. My little brother has his own space. I have my own space. We're not in a small apartment anymore, and it really has opened up a lot of opportunities.
So where do you see yourself in another 4 years?
In another 4 years, hopefully growing within the company and maybe on track to becoming a manager within Travelers and learning new roles and new lines of businesses and trying to go up the corporate ladder, hopefully.
Oh, that's just wonderful.
Perfect example. That is a success story of a family being able to be together safe in a home that you all have helped build. Blair, I can see why everyone was so impressed with Junior. What a young man. His family's work ethic has clearly rubbed off on him, right? He's going to school, he's working at Travelers, and in his spare time, he is volunteering as a firefighter. His parents, I'm sure, are so proud.
Yes, and I think Ricky might be a little bit nervous because I think he's going to climb that corporate ladder. But, during Junior's first summer internship, he used his paycheck to cross off one of the items on his father's bucket list. This is a story that just makes me cry. He bought Yankee tickets for the whole family. Why? Because his dad, Gregorio, is a huge Yankee fan, but he had never been able to afford to see a game at the stadium. And what did Junior do? That was wonderful. I know it's not the last time that Junior will give back to his family and his community, as we heard tonight. They've done so much. His family has done so much for him, so he's giving back to them. And now I'd like to mention some more folks that I know who are watching tonight about giving back. One is who we saw earlier tonight and heard from, Jim and Vivian Nigro. Thank you guys for your years of support for Mars Habitat. And speaking of amazing supporters, let me take a minute to say thank you to Valley Bank, one of our 2 premier sponsors. Over the years, Valley Bank has proven their commitment to building affordable housing by donating their financial support and the time and talents of their employees to our blitz builds, panel builds, and construction sites.
At Valley, we believe banking is more than dealing with people's finances. It's about improving the social, economic, and environmental conditions in the communities we serve. Our passion around corporate social responsibility is woven into our core business values and objectives. We established 4 key pillars that guide our decisions and approach to philanthropy, volunteerism, and collaboration.
And now, we will introduce another premier sponsor, Bayer, with a special message from Mary Lou Panzano. Mary Lou?
Our vision at Bayer is a bold one, health for all and hunger for none. And to realize that vision, we put our people, passion, and best science to work every day to help solve 2 of humanity's most pressing challenges at the same time, keeping a growing, aging population healthy and fed. But just as important is our deep-rooted commitment to improving people's lives, making a meaningful and direct impact in the communities where our employees and customers live, work, and play. And this commitment is in our DNA. It's part of our corporate culture and identity, and it's a great source of pride for all of us at Bayer. And that's why Bayer has been such a proud supporter of Mars Habitat for years. We believe in the same things, making life better for everyone we touch. Our employees love volunteering with Mars Habitat, whether at the build site or from our own parking lot. And personally, I believe everyone should have enough food to eat, a decent place to live, and be healthy enough to enjoy both. Like Jennifer Espinal and her family, whom we met at last year's gala, who moved into their home in December. And the 25 families we're going to help build homes with on Bennett Avenue in Randolph. And the many more families we aim to bring together to build homes, communities, and hope. That's why the Bayer Mars Habitat for Humanity partnership is so meaningful to me and my company. We're so honored to partner with Mars Habitat, and I want to congratulate all of the honorees tonight for sharing in this life-changing journey with us. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you, Valley and Bayer.
Mars Habitat gathers volunteers from local businesses, corporations, civic groups, churches, schools. They have volunteers who are teenagers, and some of their volunteers are in their 90s. So thank you to all of you who abided by our protocols and kept everyone safe on site during COVID-19, and for you at home. If you're interested in donating your time, please visit the website to register. There is a role for anyone willing to help, right, Blair?
That's right. We say a pulse and a smile. On behalf of Mars Habitat Board of Directors, our families and staff, thank you to each one of our thousands of volunteers. I know many of you are watching tonight, and one of you, our construction volunteer, ready, Barry Wolfenson. Hey, Barry. This is probably the first and only gala that Barry will attend. And Frank Cacavalli. Frank has terrific plans for Mars Habitat for him and his Roxbury High School structural design classes. More to come on that, so stay tuned. And so in recognition of our amazing volunteers, we put together a special tribute with the help of Mecca Gibson. Mecca is a talented 19-year-old woman who graduated from arts high schools in Newark and currently attends Essex County College. She plays the violin, and as you'll soon hear, she sings like an angel. Please enjoy the pictures and Mecca's lovely version of the song Home. Mecca?
When I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. I wish I was home, I wish I was back there with the things I've been knowing. Wind that makes the tall trees bend into leaning. Suddenly the snowflakes that fall have meaning. Sprinkling the scene. Makes makes it all clean. Maybe there's a chance I could go back there, and that I have some direction. It would sure be nice to be back home where there's love and affection. And just maybe I can convince time to slow up, giving me enough time in my life to grow up. Time be my friend. Let me start again. Suddenly my world has changed its face, but I still know where I'm going. I've had my mind spin around in space, and yet I've watched it growing. And I learned that we must look inside our hearts to find a world full of love like yours, like me, like home.
Wow, wasn't that an amazing tribute to our army of volunteers, the people who help make dreams come true for our homeowner families? Hi, my name is Loretta Rivers, and I'm the Director of Family Services for Morris Habitat. What many people don't realize is that our family do the same kind of work, building right alongside volunteers, as they put their sweat equity hours to qualify for a home. That's the Habitat Partnership, a unique community model that provides a hand up and not a handout. It's a partnership that works. Homeowners in Progress perform 200 to 500 hours of sweat equity building their homes or homes of others. They take classes in homeownership or even volunteer at the resort. They also agree to pay an affordable 30-year mortgage while building equity for their future. These are the hard-working families you are supporting tonight, and we hope you will be generous because they are so many more that need your help. We'd like to introduce you to one of our homeowners in progress, the Davis family. We caught up with them as they recently were hammering away in their new home in Jefferson Township. Scott and Marley and their 6 children have been living in a 2-bedroom city apartment for more than 15 years. That is all they could afford. But a new home of their own with adequate living space and a yard in Morris County will mean the world to them. But we'll let them tell their story.
Hey, Luke. Get that dirt, Luke?
Come on, Luke. We need this house built. Who wants a bedroom? Yeah.
All right, if you all want to pick up a little bit and just kind of hold it. Okay.
We've been looking and praying for a house that we can afford for 10 years or more. And we've looked everywhere and have not been able to find anything. And then my wife had encouraged me, why don't you check out Habitat? And so I looked online and at the end of August. And amazingly, on the Morris Habitat site, they said they were accepting applications and they were looking for a family with 8 persons.
Yes!
That's, right now, we live in a 2-bedroom apartment in a 3-family house, so we live on the 2nd floor. You know, all the children are in 1 bedroom. It's very tight. There's challenges with being on the 2nd floor and having many children. It can be a frustration for neighbors. So that has been an area of stress for many years.
In ownership, yes, yeah. It's really a very good experience because, like, you know, at the beginning, I had to carry the lumbers. I had to go to the store. We're going to have the construction manager to Lowe's, to Home Depot, and it helped me to feel like, you know, I'm being part of what is being done. Honestly, I enjoy it more than if I had bought a house that was already made. And I'm always interested into finding out, okay, what was there? Okay, what is behind that all? So now I have a chance to know and to learn it along my kids, my husband, and how to build a house, especially the two oldest boys. It's a blessing. I feel like in the future when they get married, they're probably even gonna build their own house also.
I mean, just build it. One is building memories, with my boys. One of the first things we did was some landscaping, and there was a lot of rocks, some large rocks, even small rocks, and a lot of wood that had to be removed from the front and side. And after we did it, we looked and said, wow, what a transformation. And we did it together. And that has been, is building memories, for us. My wife, who did things, cutting using the chop saw, what are some of your favorite jobs, Maura?
I enjoy doing the framing, cutting the woods, and to build the wall and do the frame, because since I'm teaching the kids algebra and geometry, and I felt like I was applying what I was studying with them. So we always talk about that also.
Well, I can say, for those who've given already, thank you.
Thank you.
Because you've been part of an answer to our prayer. You've been part of our miracle. And I can't think of anything better in life than to be part of someone else's miracle. So I have to say thank you. And to those who are considering giving, I can say this is life-changing for us. This is an answer to our prayer for 10 years. I can't think of anything better to do than to give. Habitat is a wonderful organization. Everybody I've met in this organization has been warm, welcoming, hardworking. It's a great organization, and it gets me excited to think about, could you give to help now somebody else? We're recipients of this blessing. I'm looking forward to meet the other families. They're going to be recipients of their homes, of their miracle.
Wow, that one gets me every time.
I know, and thank you, Scott and Marley. And I know Scott and Marley and their 6 children cannot wait until they are able to move into their new home. You heard how fast they were shoveling when I said, who wants a bedroom? The family completed nearly half of their required 500 hours of sweat equity in only 3 very cold months since their groundbreaking in October. Among our guests tonight are other Habitat homeowners, and I'm sure they remember all those sweat equity hours as well. One of those homeowners is Stacy Goods. Hey, Stacy. I hope I see you next year at Habitat on the Hill in Washington, D.C., where we can advocate for affordable housing policies. And also watching tonight is Dover Councilwoman Sandra Whitner. She is one of our very first Habitat children to grow up in one of our first homes.
Okay, you have to let me know the date of the Davis family home dedication in the fall. My crew and I would love to be there. We will push for that story. Thanks, Blair. Tonight you've met only 2 of the 674 families that Morris Habitat has served since 1985. There are thousands more local families that are just as ready for an opportunity to build a home and a future for themselves and their children. And studies do show that 1 out of every 5 families in New Jersey pays over half of their income in housing costs. Well, all of us working together can help. First, of course, you can donate. Any amount will help put a shovel into the ground for another family. And at this point by now, you know the drill tonight. You can get your phone and scan the QR code, or if you'd rather, you can donate at morrishabitat.org. While you're there, you can find out much more information about Morris Habitat families, the projects, the programs. Blair and her team are busy all the time. But there's something else that we all can do, even if you can't afford to donate this evening. Please become an advocate for Habitat families. You can like Habitat on social media, you can share the Gala link with your friends and families, and sign up for newsletters and emails to keep informed about the latest national, state, the local policies regarding affordable housing.
And we're forever grateful to our partners like each of you watching tonight. Your generosity, love, and prayers has kept us going through the last 36 years. We've gathered some of our friends and supporters, including my granddaughter, Ashlyn, you're watching tonight, I hope, to create a virtual, heartfelt moment as we near the end of our program. And I hope all of you will join in at home. So this is what you do. Make a heart like this. You can do it. And know that you're an important part of the work we do.
Dig.
The chills that you spill up my back keep me filled with satisfaction when we're done. Satisfaction of what's to come. I couldn't ask for another. No, I couldn't ask for another. Your groove, I do deeply dig. No walls, only the bridge. Myself a dish, my succotash wish.
Sing it, baby.
I couldn't ask for another. No, I couldn't ask for another. Groove is in the heart. Groove is in the heart. Groove is in the heart. Groove is in the heart.
Oh, it's so nice to see familiar faces. Thank you for everyone who is willing to help. And thank all of you who are willing to help with your opening your hearts to keep our hammers swinging. I want to thank all of our folks who are watching tonight, our friends, our donors, our volunteers for sharing this evening with us. And special thanks to Dawn Sherman, Pauline Vaccaro, Stephanie Bonarota, Chris Palazzi, and Mindy Robinson. These folks produced this virtual gala in like a month and a half, and I'd like to just, let's give a, come on, Barry, let's everybody clap at home.
Beautiful.
And thanks to sponsors.
That's right, especially GAF, Bear, Valley Bank, Lakeland Bank, Kearney Bank, and our friends at Schindler Elevator Corporation. And just a reminder to Schindler volunteer employees, actually, your company will match all of your gala donations. And in case you missed the pre-show, please watch the post-show for a full list of sponsors and, of course, to see who won the door prizes.
Well, thank you to the donors of those wonderful gifts, and thank you, Tony, for being here with us.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure to have you host this evening.
Oh, you're very welcome. You know, it's my pleasure always to be there when Morris Habitat for Humanity calls me. And thank you all of you, for empowering families right here in New Jersey.
Okay, so you all know me. Let's not forget that this is a celebration. I know some of you got together for your viewing parties, including the Schleicher and Yates families.
Yates is down in Jacksonville.
And we are in St. Pete. Hey, Mom and Dad.
Dad, Chris, Angie.
I am so glad that you could all finally make our gala.
We hope you ordered a lovely meal from one of the 3 restaurants who are supporting Morris Habitat tonight. Thank you, Nona's Pizza in Florham Park, Gourmet Cafe in Parsippany, and Portofino's in Morristown for your delicious food and, of course, your generosity. Each of our gala sponsors received a cheese dessert gift box. They were delivered to their homes so that they could enjoy it during tonight's program. So we hope you enjoyed those tasty treats.
And now, my favorite part, please join us in a toast. Perhaps you've poured yourself a glass of wine, a glass of champagne, or a cup of tea. It really doesn't matter.
Yes, everyone, please do. Raise your glasses to 2021. May it be a year of healing, prosperity, and hope for our Habitat families and the over 450 guests who joined us this evening.
Beautiful. Thank you for spending time with us tonight and for helping families with a hand up to home ownership. I hope to see you soon volunteering, shopping in our Restore, or on our social media sites. Take care. Good night.
Good night,
Thank you.
everyone.
Good
Thank you
night.
so much.